Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. They thought silence meant surrender. They thought the quiet was my end. But silence is where monsters learn to sharpen their teeth. I didn't disappear. I detonated inward. While they celebrated my fall, I was building a new kind of rise. One they'll never see coming. Funny, isn't it? How people only notice you when you're breaking, never when you're building. They called it my downfall. I call it my incubation. I became my own apocalypse. The version of me they knew died screaming. The one that's coming won't need to. People love to watch you crawl. It makes them feel taller. But here's the punchline. They only laugh until the ground starts shaking. I've learned something about pain. It's not the enemy. It's the architect. Every bruise, every scar, every whisper behind your back, those were blueprints. I wasn't broken. I was drafted. They built my hatred with their hands, and I let them, because hate, when mastered, becomes focus. And focus, that's the sharpest weapon they'll never see until it's already in their chest. They think I'm bitter. Number. I'm awake. There's a difference. I don't crave revenge anymore. I crave balance. And balance doesn't come from forgiveness. It comes from correction. They'll call it cruel. I'll call it necessary. You see, I stopped asking, why me, a long time ago. Now, I ask, what's next? Because the truth is, I was never their victim. I was their test, and they failed it, spectacularly. The silence taught me things the noise never could. It taught me who's real when you vanish. It taught me who talks when you're not around, and most importantly, it taught me how to move without warning, because that's what scares them most, not your noise, your unpredictability. They can't destroy what they can't predict. I became a ghost with fire in his veins, and now I move like vengeance disguised as calm. They'll see me again, but they won't recognize the eyes. Those same eyes they dismissed. Now study them like prey. They'll whisper, he changed. No, I remembered every insult, every laugh, every betrayal, and I recycled it into fuel. I've turned my ruin into rhythm, my silence into a strategy, my pain into precision. The end they wished for became my origin story. They think I'm done. Oh, they're so wrong. Betrayal isn't the wound. It's the awakening. It's the moment the lights cut out and you finally see the room for what it is. Every knife in your back wasn't an ending. It was a compass, pointing you away from illusions, pointing you toward the truth. Fake smiles taught me silence. Silence taught me power. And power taught me to stop shaking hands with shadows. The sting? That's just the burn of old skin peeling away. What's left underneath isn't weakness. It's steel. I don't ask why they did it anymore. That's an amateur's question. I ask how it built me. Every cut mapped a blueprint across my spine. A map of places never to return to, people never to trust again. Each scar, a door slammed shut, forcing me forward. They thought the pain would break me. Number, it built a predator's patience inside me, a cold clarity, a hunter's instinct, the kind that waits, the kind that plans. Their betrayal was my laboratory, my test site, where I learned what moves to make and which smiles hide knives. Their games taught me the rules, and once you know the rules, you don't play fair. You change the board, you shift the pieces, you become the one pulling strings while they're still trying to cut yours. Quick cuts, fast thoughts, flashbacks, like broken glass. I see their faces, I hear their words, I feel the blade sliding in, and then the silence after, and I laugh, because What they thought would kill me turned me into something they can't even define anymore. They wanted to break me, but I learned how the game works. Now I move differently. Quieter, sharper. They think they're still watching the same person. They're not. They're watching the echo of who I was, while the real me walks right past them in silence. The ones who betrayed me didn't just fail me, they forged me. They handed me their tricks, their tactics, their worst intentions, and I used every single one as ammunition. They wanted a victim. They created a tactician. The ones who betrayed me gave me the blueprint for domination. When peace failed me, chaos became my weapon. Stop waiting for calm seas. You were born in storms. They hand you rules like a leash. You wear it as jewelry until it chokes you. Predictability comforts them. It makes them safe. It makes them weak. I learned to move like lightning in a blackout. Fast, unseen, unapologetic. Weaponized chaos is simple. Be the variable they forgot to calculate. Confidence is not peace. It's calibrated madness. It has a plan. Thoughts fragment. Jokes fracture. Strategy remains. I smile while the world recalibrates. Jokers whisper. Predictability is their leash. You bite the hand I stopped chasing control. I became it. You can't outrun the person you pretend to be. The reflection waits. Silent. Unblinking. No filters. No illusions. Every weakness you deny becomes your leash. Every truth you face becomes your weapon. The mask starts to slip, and beneath it, something raw, something trembling, and something ready to burn. The noise fades, the crowd vanishes, and for the first time it's just you staring at yourself without a script, without applause. I used to perform strength like a trick, smile sharp, eyes colder than I felt. Pretend long enough, and the mask grows roots. But masks are heavy. They drag you down into someone else's story. The rebirth starts when you rip it off, when you stop performing, when you stop selling pieces of yourself for scraps of validation. That's when you find out what's left. Stillness, not silence, not peace. Something heavier, something alive, like the room itself is breathing with you. Your heartbeat becomes a drum. Your breath becomes a countdown. In the stillness, every lie you've told yourself starts to scream, and every truth you buried claws its way to the surface. You can't hide here. You can only watch. This is where the predator is born. Not in noise, but in quiet. Not in rage, but in recognition. You see yourself. All of you. Not the armor. Not the act. The thing beneath the thing. And it's stronger than you feared. Scarier. Purer. It doesn't want applause. It wants freedom. It wants to walk unchained, even if it walks alone. The day I stopped running, everything started running from me. A storm doesn't announce itself. It arrives. Quiet. Relentless. Certain. No more proving. No more explaining. The time for noise is over. The silence now carries the weight. Real power doesn't perform. It observes. It waits. It breathes in the panic of others. When you've seen enough betrayal, enough masks, enough noise, something inside you shifts. You stop trying to convince. You start to command. That's the evolution they can't predict. The calm before their ruin. Restraint. That's the highest form of control. The ability to destroy and choosing not to. Not out of mercy, out of mastery. That's what separates kings from killers. The real predators don't snarl. They calculate. They don't chase. They corner. Their silence is the ticking clock before impact. They expect the explosion, the fury, the spectacle. Let them wait. Let them drown in anticipation. Power is patience, sharpened to a blade. The pause before you move is what terrifies them most, because in that pause they realize they've already lost. Joker's whisper curls through the dark. They expect rage. Give them silence. It hurts more. Each breath becomes a countdown, each step a declaration, each stare a verdict. You don't need to shout when your presence alone changes the temperature of the room. They thought the fire burned out. They mistook stillness for surrender. But this quiet, it isn't peace, it's preparation. The kind that ends conversations, the kind that rewrites balance. And when I return, it won't be loud, it won't be dramatic. It'll be inevitable. I'm not coming back for revenge. I'm coming back for the throne. They'll call it a comeback. I'll call it correction. Betrayal carved the blueprint. Chaos taught the timing. Introspection built the hands that now hold the scalpel. This rebirth isn't gentle, it's surgical. Never seek permission again. Never explain your evolution to those still asleep. Never fight for recognition. Make them remember your silence. When they say, "You've changed," reply slow. Finally. The new you doesn't compete, it commands. They think I'm done. Let them sleep. The next time they hear my name, it'll already be too late.